everybody, my name is Chelsea Goodwill, and I'm here to inform you on celiac disease. I personally do not have this disease, but one of my roommates does. And she was diagnosed when she was 18 years old. Before I get going, does anyone know what celiac disease is?
No. No, I don't.
No.
Okay, well most people don't. According to celiacs.org, it is an autoimmune reaction from eating the protein gluten. So, which means if someone digests it, their body cannot break it down and absorb it. Well, if you don't know, gluten is in a lot of foods. According to medshadow.org, gluten will include foods such as wheat, barley, and rye. So these include foods we eat every day, and most of them are like bread, so like your bagels in the morning, most cereals have it, and pastas. Also, most fried foods have it because in restaurants, breaded foods aren't separated between fryers. So you have to ask when you go to restaurants if they separate like their fried foods and their like breaded foods. Also, most sodas and candies have it because of the food coloring that it is to make it. And most beers have it, so you have to look at that or just drink wine. Most people might not realize that they have the gluten allergy. They just think like maybe it's something they ate or whatever. But according to Mayo Clinic, the signs and symptoms a person might have are they can have extreme weight loss, bloating because they can't digest it, so it's just sitting in there, so their abdomen gets all distended, diarrhea, which is the opposite effect because it has to get out somehow. This will usually happen after a person digests the gluten because their body can't digest it. There's also a lot of long-term health effects. One being the main destruction of the cilia and the small intestine. The cilia just basically become flattened and ruined, so the person cannot like grab onto the gluten and like digest it for nutrients. And according to celiaccentral.org, most people with celiac disease also have iron deficiency anemia. So even since they can't eat gluten, now they have to be on a med for the rest of their lives to help with their iron, so let's take iron supplements for life. It's worse if a child is diagnosed with it because of their malabsorption. So this can affect their growth and development. So first, a child will have smaller legs but a very big distended abdomen. And then, that was according to Mayo Clinic. To diagnose this disease, there's two ways to do it. You can take a blood test, which just tests for the antibodies that fight the gluten protein, or you can have an esophagogastroduodenoscopy, or just an EGD for short. This is where a small tube will be inserted from your mouth to your stomach and then into your intestine, where it will take a small biopsy and then test for. Unfortunately, there's no known cure for celiac disease. A person will have to just stick to a strict gluten-free diet, which is very expensive. From living with someone who has this, I realized she has to spend probably 2 times more on like normal foods that we can just buy. Like for instance, like a bag of chips is just like normal $2, but if you have to get gluten-free, she probably spends at least $5 for something we can buy for $2. Also, the taste is disgusting, to be honest with you. And it sucks for my roommate because she has had normal food in the past, but now she has to have gluten, like everything has to be gluten-free. And even when she goes out to restaurants, she has to ask for gluten-free menus, which is a good thing because then she knows what she can and cannot eat. She doesn't have to ask a million questions. Or she has a Shopwell app that will scan foods at like grocery stores, and it tells you if there's gluten in it or not. Also, most labels will just say gluten-free right on them because this is becoming a bigger and bigger thing in our country because some people do gluten-free diets because they want to, because it's healthy and you lose weight on it. But since she really has it, she has to watch what she eats and be careful. Does anyone have any questions? Yes?
How long does it take for, like, say you eat gluten and you have celiac, how long does it take for the reaction to happen?
Probably about 30 minutes to an hour.
And are some of them so serious that you have to go to the hospital, or can you actually stay, like, home?
Usually it's so serious you have to go to the hospital, but it depends on how much you consume.
I have a question. What happens when they consume?
It depends on the person. Like my roommate, she will profusely just vomit everywhere, but some people will just come out the other end to say it.
That was me.
Do you have celiac?
No, there was one year I lost so much weight that I got gallstones. So anything with gluten I would eat, I would just vomit.
Yeah.
constantly.
Okay, and thank you.